Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today I want to address kind of a silly question that came up during my live chat the other night. One of my viewers said that a friend of theirs has decided that they are going to carry as their EDC a Desert Eagle. And that they told them that is ridiculous, you should not do that. It's a bad idea. And they asked me if I agreed. Well, I've actually carried a Desert Eagle before, but I'm going to answer the question here in the most serious manner I can possibly answer it. Now, when you're looking at a Desert Eagle, if you're not familiar, they are huge. This thing is gigantic, and it's heavy, and it shoots a really big caliber. This is a 50 AE, a 50 Action Express. A lot of people might call that overkill, the caliber itself. But also, even if you didn't, if you think that caliber's okay, this gun weighs a ton. And I think that's pretty close to accurate when I say a ton. So this gun, a lot of people would say, don't carry it. It's too big, it's too heavy, it's too unwieldy, and the caliber itself is overkill for self-defense. Now, you can actually mitigate some of that with some Desert Eagles because I do have one that is, lighter weight. This is much lighter. It's actually not much heavier than a lot of my carry guns. And this one is in 357 Magnum. A lot more, acceptable, I guess would be the word, caliber for carry. And this here gives you 10 rounds of 357 Magnum. 9 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. And it has an alloy frame instead of stainless steel, so it is a lot lighter. So you're getting 10 rounds of an acceptable self-defense caliber in a lighter, smaller gun. Now, it's not tiny, but it's still a lot smaller than the regular Desert Eagle. So this gun would be a little different as far as carrying from the other Desert Eagle. But there is one thing I would say, though. You do get 10 rounds of 357 Magnum from this, and even though it is smaller, it's still not tiny, because if you look at this gun right here, the one I'm showing right next to it right now, this gets you 8 rounds of 357 Magnum in a revolver that is much smaller, much lighter, much easier to carry. So unless 2 rounds extra is all that important to you, you're not getting a whole lot more out of this gun. So would I tell people to carry these, that it's okay to carry a Desert Eagle? Or is it, like I said, too big, too heavy, too unwieldy, and in some cases a really over-the-top caliber? Well, I would not tell anyone ever to carry a Desert Eagle. I would not suggest it. In fact, I would suggest against it. But it's not for any of those reasons. I wouldn't say carry this gun because, I should say I wouldn't tell someone not to carry this gun because it's too big or too heavy or too powerful. Those are all things that are up to you. If you can handle it, if you can carry it, if you can shoot it, if you can do well with it, well then I don't care how big it is. I don't care how heavy it is, and I don't care if the caliber can take down a full-grown bull moose from 100 yards. If you're justified in using a firearm for self-defense, I don't care which one it is you use, and I don't think caliber is relevant. In fact, there's a lot of court precedent now, like the Fish case, that shows that convictions that were based on caliber are unjust, that caliber does not make a difference. What makes a difference is in how justified you were in using deadly force. If you're capable of using deadly force and justified in using deadly force, it doesn't matter if you beat them to death with a solid wood baseball bat or a lighter aluminum one. What matters is that you were justified in using deadly force, so caliber doesn't matter. So like I said, as far as the size, the weight, the caliber, I'm fine with that. The only reason I would tell people not to carry a Desert Eagle, especially not one of the full-size Desert Eagles right here, is because they're not reliable. They don't function well. They're not a typical firearm, or handgun, I should say, mechanism when it comes to firing. These are more rifle-like in how they work. So these just are not a reliable gun. They're so big, so heavy, the parts are so big and heavy that they just don't function the way they would need to function for me to think this is a gun I would suggest for carry. Now, like I said, if you've got one that you say is completely reliable and you trust it 100% and you want to carry it, fine. I don't care. In fact, I applaud you. Carry what you like. Carry what you'll actually carry. If having such a cool gun makes you more likely to carry it, especially if you can say mine's reliable. But I've never found one to be reliable. I've owned like 4 of these, and every one of them has had the same issues when it comes to reliability. It just seems to be something that is inherent in the gun, and you accept it because they're a novelty. So I don't suggest people carry them simply because of that. It's like how I don't tell people to carry Kel-Tecs because I don't think they're reliable. You know, they self-disassemble when you shoot them. You don't want that happening in a bad situation. You don't want to have to say, oh, wait a minute, let me try to put my gun back together. Do you have any super glue? You know, when things are going wrong. So same thing with the Desert Eagles. I don't care how big they are. I don't care how powerful they are. None of that stuff matters to me as long as you can carry it. But the fact that I just don't find them reliable is why I never, ever recommend them as a carry gun.